a little poem. Before this, I was on a global networking, on a global stage, talking about lifting up other people in social media and the online relationship. And it talks about show up. These two words, show up, show up, show up in life, show up for business, show up in your community. And I kind of wrote a little poem about that, and it was about self. The S stands for self. Before you get onto social media and build relationship, we got to get right with self. And whether you've got to do self-development or read some self-development books or take time for yourself or self-awareness, you got to be whole in yourself before you start sharing yourself. H stands for help, is understanding where your business, your story can help somebody else, and identifying those moments on social media where you can easily step in and show help. O stands for openness, because as we all go through this crazy life, especially in this past year, is being open to change, being open to adapt, being open to meeting new people, being open to new thought processes. We often say, and I said in my seminar before, is an open business gets more customers than a closed business. So being very open to something new. W stands for when to where, is understanding when you feel the most confident in what you do in life, your expertise, you've done that 10,000 hours to be called that expert, is when you see an opportunity to post what you do or comment on what you do, is locating those where moments. U stands for unconditional. The more that we put conditions on what we do, the more that opportunities won't come. So we have to understand unconditional love, unconditional openness, unconditional giving, as well as the last is P, is people. Understanding people, this is my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world whenever I train. Everybody got one of these? 99.9999% of people have a cell phone. Well, guys, that's the glass of your storefront. That's the glass of your organization. That's the glass of your business. We get to meet people where they are, binge watching on the big purple couch like I have at home, binge watching on Netflix, meeting them where we are with what we post and the behavior we have behind that glass. So the analogy I like to give is that we put up a beautiful window display hoping somebody walks by our business, right? Walks by our business and stops in to open the door. And this is where we have to remember the humanity in front of that screen. And that's how you will be lifting up yourselves in other people's eyes. So it's all about the showing up. So there was a seminar that I did, I think back in May for you guys, Scott, about the W5 story. And I didn't want to regurgitate that because I know that video lives up onto on your website, so you guys can go back and take a look at it. I highly, highly recommend you go watch that video, because your W5 story is so important to know before you start connecting. And the W5 story is who. Who are you? Get really, really clear with who are you? Business owner, dad, mom, community volunteer. Really get to know you. And you'll hear some of the responses that I give and I lead. What do you do? Where do you do it? When did you decide? Oh, thank you so much, Scott. And why? Getting really clear with that story, because then you will be able to know how you're going to put your story to lift up other people. So watch that, pretty powerful. And if you want a one-on-one, because I do them one-on-one or with your business, please reach out to me. In a minute, I'm going to be putting my contact information into the chat. And I do these for free, because the more that I can get to know people and know people's W5 stories, the more that I can refer you out and refer what you guys do. So what I thought I would chat with you guys about now is, I'd love to know, because you guys can give me a reaction, how many people here need more customers? So that little reaction, yeah, either that, or you can kind of give me one of those little, oh yeah, I need more customers. I need more customers. Well, guess what, guys? Your customers are coming to you. and you don't even realize that they're coming to you. They're coming to you by the glass of your storefront. Okay, that's one. They also are in probably a stack of business cards. Remember back in the day when we used to go networking in person? Oh my gosh, remember those days? It was amazeballs. And you would come away with that stack of business cards because here's my analogy about a business card. A business card is a gift. It's a little mini billboard. So I now want you to look at those business cards with a whole new respect level. Is that think about, dial it back a year when we met in person before, that you met that person in person and you exchanged that W5 story that quick. Who are you? Like I'd meet Scott when I met Scott for the first time at a chamber event, and I've got the paper tag on, but he's got the legit tag on. And I walked up to him and I went, who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? When did you decide you wanted to work for the Cloverdale, the district chamber? And why are you here? Oh, I want to know more. And Scott goes, you know what? You just exchanged some good time with me. Here you go. Here's my business card, implied consent, my little billboard with all my information. Here you go, Jeanette. I give you permission to connect with me. You've spent the time. It's a gift. How many of you guys have got boxes or stacks of business cards that you've had for a long time? Tons. The best investment that I've ever made in my business, I would say, is I had my virtual assistant. I had this was her first job. So this is how I tested her too. I had her take all my business cards for the last 20 years, because I love me a business card, because I love to network, because Scott can tell you and so can Tamara. I love getting out there in the community and meeting people. I had her take all my business cards and put them into a constant contact. I have 2,400 contacts. It cost me about $1,500 for her to do this for me, and then categorize them based upon what the business card was and subcategorize them. I did my first call out, hey, I'm finally using this constant contact, look forward to blah, blah, blah. And you have to do that unsubscribe thing. I had 3% unsubscribe, because the system that I'm going to teach you how to do will get that person to remember you. So when you start using your constant contact to build that relationship, they won't unsubscribe because you've made yourself memorable. So I'm going to bring up my screen. Do I have share screen ability? Yes, I do. Do I? Yes, no. Nope. Can I please share my screen? Do I have now? Let me help. Yay, I can show my screen. Or this wouldn't make sense at all. Okay, rid of this document. So we can see everybody. Scott, you can see it on your end?
Yes, that's perfect, thank you.
Perfect. Well, this system also works with the Zoom chat. How many out there have said, hey, put your information into the Zoom chat? And then you've got the Zoom chat, as when I close my Zooms off, it always stops with it, saves to a Zoom chat somewhere on your computer. Well, this is how I behave with my Zoom chat, because I did this with my business cards. Is this called the business card lifting up system? Is grab that stack of business cards you have from people you have met and start lifting up yourself in their eyes. So before you apply a lifting up, ask yourself, and I'm going to loop back to what lifting up means. I coined this term. It's my term or my system. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Those are all nouns, and they are the tool. They are the hammer. But if you're not picking up that hammer and the action of hammering, what good is a hammer? So the I stands for intention, N stands for network, G stands for goals. So you want to apply a lifting up. So the first thing is, what is your intention to have this person as a connection? So having them in your constant contact, having them as a connection in LinkedIn, what is your intention? Do you want to do business with them? Do you want them to do business with you? Do you want to add value to them? What is your intention? How will this person benefit and build your network? meaning having those solutions. And I can tell you what networking does for me, guys, is it puts a whole bunch of solution people and businesses. So when my customer has an objection, I used to be in the hardwood floor business for almost 10 years. And I used to say all the time, oh, you'll probably have to paint your baseboards after you get your hardwood floor done. And like, I don't know a painter. And I would go, here's my painter. Why aren't you getting my your hardwood floors done? Oh, I need to get you need to move this electrical thing out of the way. Oh, I don't know an electrician. Here's my electrician. So I intentfully built my network. So that's having them as your network, that you could give them business and solve a customer problem. And finally, with having this person as a connection, will together you reach your goals. Meaning building this relationship with them, they will give you business, you will give them business. And I can say this year, guys, there's 5 things that we all must be thinking about this year in order for our businesses to thrive. Number 1, we got to take care of ourselves. It's like giving somebody a hand right now. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to know our own safety level. We have to take care of ourselves. Number 1, we have to know our story inside, outside, and upside down, because more and more people are using the internet to find out about you. So be truthful about what you say. Number 3, you have to give back to community some way. Some way you have to give back to community. Number 3, you need to be a give, gain person. We need to shout out about other people's businesses when we have good service. So Bob's Big Boy Plumbing, you had a great service. Putting it out on social media. Oh my gosh, Bob's Big Boy Plumbing, tagging them in, because Bob will get alerted. Bob's social media go, wow, thank you so much for just giving me a little bit of your time. Also, guys, that how you build your network, your friends will understand that you wouldn't take your precious time that you'll never get back in life saying something good about somebody else. This is how we can keep the business going along. And number 3, is just continuing to share your knowledge going on. So that's how we can give a hand. So this is the step I want you to do with your business card. And Tamara, Scott, I have this in a PDF. I can share it. If you guys can download it somewhere, or someone can download it off your website, I would love to share it so people can use it as a checklist. I'll take that business card and I'll go over to LinkedIn and I'll ask to connect. We have 4 different ways that when we ask to connect, and I'm going to tell you guys, don't get the name and push the button connect and just hit connect. To me, that's like me walking up to Scott networking and poking him in the head and saying, connect with me, connect with me, connect with me. We'd never do that in reality, right? We wouldn't immediately walk up to somebody and go, be my friend, be my connection, I want your business card. No, we have person, place, situation, or profession. Person to person. Hey, I met you as we were chatting at the chamber event with Scott. Scott's a great guy. Would love to add you as my connection. Place to place, again, met you at the chamber event. We talked about your horse show and how I'd love to get a ticket to it. Can we please connect? My favorite terminology to use, and I get people connecting me with left, right, and center on LinkedIn. I'd love to add you to my sphere of influential people. May we connect? Powerful, powerful. Place to place, meaning you live in the same area. Hey, my business is in Cloverdale. Your business is in Cloverdale. Love to know more about your business. May we connect? And then profession to profession. I see you're also a social media manager and you do something different than me. I would love to connect with you, so maybe I can refer you business. May I add you to my sphere of influential people? You always want to have, because again, you want to have that's your calling card ahead of time, that you are in it for the other person. The next thing is on LinkedIn, a lot of companies now have their own company page. And I'm going to tell you, make sure on LinkedIn, you always refer to somebody's page as their company page, not their business page. The algorithm in LinkedIn That's their word. Company page is LinkedIn, business page is Facebook, and the algorithm will work against you, believe it or not. So it's like, oh my gosh, I just followed, Bob's Big Boy Plumbing company page. The background algorithm will like you better and give you a lot more, just a little inside tip. So you want to go on and connect or follow their business page. The reason is when their business page pops into something or posts something, it's going to show up in your feed, and maybe your business has something to offer that business, or you could make a nice little comment, or wow, Bob's Big Boy Plumbing, you're now using that type of piping? I didn't know about that. And you're able to see what your other businesses in your area are doing. Next, go over to Instagram. So go over to Instagram and follow their company page. And if they have a personal account, do the same. And that may be counterintuitive. It's because within their personal page, I have a MyBC Consulting page, and I have a Martin Y. Jeanette page, because Jeanette Y. Martin was already taken. Is within me following the personal page, I may find my avatar for my company in their post, in my personal life. So if you've got a business that is maybe house cleaning, and you take a look at my Instagram and all my posts about my house and how I like to behave, and it's like, wow, I've got a little organizational system that would work in that picture that's missing in that picture. I feel comfortable. That's when I say about a when moment to step in and go, oh, I love when you post pictures about you cooking in your house. What are you making? And you kind of go through that little bit of, and this is what I teach people, is that sales approach, and them going, oh, I'm being seen for making cookies with my kids. And underneath, you're able to keep going, hey, I'm just looking at your picture, and I've got a really cool organizational system. Can I direct message you? So that's why it's so important to follow both. As well as their company page, look at their company page pictures, because you may see your product fitting into their business. Go onto Facebook, again, follow their Facebook business page and request to be their friend. Because you know what, Tamara, am I not your friend on Facebook as I am in reality? If I've met you in person, darn tootin', I want to have your feelings on my Facebook page as well. Because if I can say something kind about what's going on in your life, or if when you post something, Tamara, on your life, and I can see my business, what I do and my services fit into your life, then I want to be your friend, because that's what it's all about, is helping out each other. Twitter, I do the same thing. So, go on to follow their business page, follow their personal account. So what happens? This is the key magic, guys. What happens when you lift up you as a new follower connection? They get notified 4 to 8 times you are looking at their digital footprint. And by this, I mean, oh, I got it. And oh, Dean said he was going to come. Oh, my friend Dean's here. That you are doing your research. So remember back in the day, I'm 57 and proud of it, that Scott would say 30 years ago, I'd meet Scott and he'd go, hey, here's Bob's Big Boy Plumbing's business card. He's an amazing guy. You could call Elaine, you could call Tamara, you could call Dean, that he's a great guy, because all these guys have done business with him as well. So you get on the phone and you call Dean. Hey, Dean, Scott gave me Bob's Big Boy Plumbing card. How is he? Is he a good guy? Yeah, he's a good guy. Okay, great, thanks. But it's like, oh, I still don't believe, because I'm going to part with a big chunk of money. I'm going to call Tamara. Hey, Tamara, Scott gave me Bob's Big Boy Plumbing's card. Is he a good guy? Yeah, he's a good guy? Great. Okay. Oh, well, that's 2 out of 3. That's awesome. We would do this. Go call next guy, Elaine, I just talked to Tamara. I talked to Dean. This Bob's Big Boy Plumbing. Is he a good guy? I got a big plumbing job. Is he a good guy? Yeah, he's a good guy? Great. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, great. Now I believe. Well, now we can go on to that person's pages, do our own research, see the quality of the work, see who they're connected with, business to business, person to person, and go, wow, Scott's connected to Tamara. Tamara's following Big Boy Plumbing. I know that Tamara wouldn't waste her time getting alerts about Bob's Big Boy Plumbing if he wasn't a great company. Boy, okay, great. Those guys are tops in my world. This guy's got to be good. So the next thing is you are interested in them. Because then when you make that first point of contact, you can see they maybe have kids. You can see they like to go walking on trails. You can see commonality on what you're going to be talking about. Because I'm going to call Bob's Big Boy. Hey, Bob's Big Boy Plumbing. I'm doing a construction job and I need you to come and do the piping for it. And now I'm just like, okay. And like, okay, great. Awesome. Perfect. And you have the phone. No, you build those and say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? There's that. What are you doing this weekend? And you know this, that you're able to see that they go for walking on trails. They like to entertain. You have commonality, so you have something else to talk about, as well as you know how to talk to that customer based upon their life. Meaning, if they post a shit, pardon my language, shit ton about their family, talk to them like a family person. I know family is important to you. I know me doing a great job is going to be great for your family because you've done your research that this is what they post about. Also, this one's awesome. You're giving them broader awareness online with new likes. Also, remember, when you like something, your followers and your connections also see what you like. So they're interested. Again, I make it out there, and Tamara can come on camera and say, because I know both Tamara and Scott, and I know Dean, that Jeanette wouldn't waste her precious time in life in liking something if it wasn't true. So Dean could come onto camera. Dean, can you unmute yourself? I can't see you right now because of where you are. Dean, wherever you are.
I'm over here.
Hey, Dean. I'm going to ask you a question, and you can say truthfully or not. So you're my little advocate here. Am I any different in reality as I am on social media?
Not at all.
Yeah. And that's so, so important. Thank you, Dean. I knew the answer was yes, but I needed to hear it from you, my friend. I've known Dean, what, 13 years, 14 years, something like that in the world, is that he sees me, I'm connected to him, that what I'm liking is like what Jeanette likes, that whole FOMO. Oh, if Jeanette likes it, I want to like it too. What's going on? And here's the magic with business, guys, is when you want to reach out to any one of these people, they're more likely to accept an email or direct message than blindly sending them out of the blue. I had a young fellow, bless his little heart, about 3 years ago. We went on a networking event. He was a financial planner, and we exchanged business cards. And then the next day he goes, I'd like to go for coffee with you. I want to know more about you. I want to go for coffee with you. And I'm like, oh, dude, do you really know who I am? Do you really know who I am? And it's like, okay, Jeanette, you have a moment to say no, or a teachable moment to this young person coming up in life to be able to use this system. Had he gone in and linked in with me, he would have saw what I was all about and had something that we could start a conversation about, saw what my company was about, started following me. I would have got his name in my inbox 4 to 8 times. Oh, Bob Smith, you have a new follower, and Bob Smith, you have a new follower. I would have known that Bob Smith of Bob's Big Boy Plumbing did his homework before he picked up the phone. He found out what I was all about to build relationship instead of blindly calling me out of the blue. We've all had that happen. So what we're doing is, I've done my homework. Do your homework before the meeting. Pretty cool. You can make yourself memorable. You got to make yourself memorable in people's lives. You make the magic for them with new followers, commenting on their profiles, seeing what they're all about in life before you make the money. And I'm just going to stop screen just for a second. And like I said, I will make this form available. I tend to print it off and make it black and white, make it a little small. And I will take and attach it to a business card and do all the little tick marks. Then I hand it over to my virtual assistant. She puts the email from the card into my constant contact. So then when I make that first reach out, you won't have unsubscribers, because they would have saw in their inbox, Jeanette Martin, Jeanette Martin, Jeanette Martin, Jeanette Martin, Jeanette Martin, Jeanette Martin. So, and now looping it back to Zoom, how many of us here are all like, put your comment, put your contact information in the chat. Well, this is my new digital business card. We're able to do, and I'd love for everybody to do the same. And that didn't work there. Oh, hold on just a sec. Oh, no, it's over here. Nope, wrong. Oh, sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Stand by. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm going to bring up my digital business card. This I prepare ahead of time on a Word document. Copy. Oh, no, coming back. Come back to Zoom. Okay, here we go. Take a look. This is implied consent. This is my new billboard. Jeanette Y. Martin, Master Connector, Local and Global Brand Strategist, MYBC Consulting, Office C, there for sure, says Surrey. My office, my phone number, my websites, my 2 websites, my LinkedIn profile, my personal profile, my business profile, Twitter, all my handles are there. So now when you save the chat, I save the chat, I take a highlighter of all the different people, the information, and I'll start to lift myself up in other people's eyes. Met you at a Zoom meeting at the Global Summit on Relationship Building. Oh my gosh, speaker so-and-so that was on stage was so inspiring. I'd love to connect with you here. This format here is your new business card. You need to give people, you need to make it easy for people to find you. And as you start utilizing these social media platforms, you will find out where your customer is. If all of a sudden you start following Bob's Big Boy Plumbing and he starts communicating with you on Instagram, well, guess what? That's where Bob's Big Boy Plumbing likes to live. That's where he likes to live. Don't send him an email. Don't send him a LinkedIn. Don't send him on Facebook. That's where he likes to live, in the direct messaging there. If people like to live on LinkedIn, after you connect with them on LinkedIn, live with them on LinkedIn until maybe there's a big file you need to exchange. But you got to do that permission work, that relationship building work before you're able to do that. And speaking of LinkedIn, after you connect with them, are you ready for the most mind-blowing words in order to build relationship that nobody else is doing? And oh my gosh, right now, LinkedIn right now, please don't connect with somebody and barf an offer. And the funniest ones are when I get from SEO and I want to be your social media person. It's like, did you look at my profile and what I do for a living? And why would I need a social media marketing content person? Because that's what I do. Is come back and first of all, you say, thank you so much for connecting. It means the world to me. I love to connect with people. Please tell me 3 things about your business that are top of mind today. And the person may come back, and I've had this come back, and they say, well, didn't you look at my profile? And I went, absolutely. And oh my gosh, you have done a lot in your life or whatever. You pull something out. You probably made that 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. What's happening today? What's happening today in your business? I've had so many people within those 3 little comments back. Oh my gosh, no one has asked me that before, because it's not about me. It's about them. And they'll come back with, oh my gosh, nobody's ever asked me that before. And I go, I'd love to know who you are all about. How can I refer you business if I don't know what's going on in your business today? And they'll come back with, and I'll give you case in point. Dean knows Liz Crawford and Dan Crawford. Truthful story. If you dig back in my LinkedIn, you'll find this, a post. I did this with a guy, can't remember his name now. And I said, please tell me 3 things top of mind about your business. And again, he came back with, I've never had anybody ask me that before. And I said, no, I want to know what's going on. So he says, do you want the Reader's Digest version or the, my whole life story? I went, give me the Reader's Digest version. And he told me that he was he owned an excavating company with the big machines, and that he subleased out. And he also had guys that could look for jobs that could go out on the tools or with these machines. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's fascinating. I have a friend in Langley. I knew this guy's business was in Surrey. I have a friend in Langley that owns an excavating company. May I connect you two up? I think you guys would be good for each other or build a relationship. And he goes, oh my gosh, this is all in the private message, back and forth, nice and private. And he goes, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. And I said, be right back. Hopped over to my LinkedIn or my email. I said, may I have your email? Said the email, hi Liz, hi Dan, hi, I can't remember this fellow's name right now, it's the top of my head. I met so-and-so on LinkedIn. He owns an excavation company in Surrey. I think this is a great relationship. Happy connecting. Came back and went, done, check your email. And he's like, wow, thank you so much. And I said, my pleasure. And I asked him, I said, do you mind if I screenshot our conversation? I'd love to post. This is the proper way to use the direct message. And he said, absolutely. So like I said, this was about 1.5 years ago. And this is how you want to, because within those 3 things could be something that you identify and go deeper. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. Your business may slip into that 3 things. But you have to, it's like walking up, I could have Scott at the excavation company go, hi, I see you're in excavation. Oh, I know a guy that's like my friend Liz. Well, no, you would never do that. It's like you got to qualify the person before. I'm going to give you my business card, my contact to make your life better. So this is what I do, guys. I'd love to open up the conversation about this. Is go find that stack of business cards. Take those Zoom chats. So now I take the Zoom chat and I do my own lifting up. And then I have my virtual assistant take their email address and put it in my constant contact. And then I also do send out cards. So I put it in my send out cards CRM system. So I can send them a card saying, thank you for meeting with me using that modality. So yeah, this is what I do. And I got to tell you, every time I send out an email, like lately, again, I've been able to have like a 1 to 2% unsubscribe rate with what I send out. It's because they see me lifting up myself in their eyes. If you want, here's a little word of wisdom. So Dean, you want to get in with this, this builder, say that's where you want to go. Dean starts commenting on that builder's stuff, starts showing up. Like I said, taking yourself, helping, being open, a when moment, unconditional, and people start showing up on their posts. So they get alerted, Dean Pickett's, Dean Pickett's, Dean Pickett's, Dean Pickett's, Dean Pickett's, Dean Pickett's. Oh my gosh, then Dean Pickett slips in an email. They're like, that's the Dean Pickett's that was over here and on here and on here and showed up for me here and shut up and shut up. I'm more likely going to reply back to Dean because Dean did his work. Dean lifted me up before he wants to come in and work with me or show me or have a meeting with me. So any questions about this system? Open to questions. Unmute yourselves. Let's have a party. Or no questions. That's okay.
I don't know that I have a question, Jeanette, but all I want to say is, wow. Like every time I hear, I've, seen you speak and I've met you, but every time I meet you or hear you speak, I'm always wowed because there's always something new to learn or just, you're amazing. Even looking at all your links, I'm wowed just by, I'm like, wow, I guess I need to up my ante because I always kind of kept my personal and business social separate. But you're right. If I want to have a business relationship with someone, that's personal. Yep. And I that's something new for me. And that's something I'm going to probably do like another direction. Cause I know we're friends on Facebook, yep. But like my Instagram, I only do business. So it's interesting. So thank you. Thank you for sharing all this.
You're welcome. And I'll tell you what I call the rule of 80, 20, 20, 80.
All right.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Scott, did you have a question?
Sorry, that was me thinking about my wife. My bad. I tried to do it quietly.
But I do have a question, but whenever you want me to.
Okay. I just want to educate you on the 80-20 rule. okay, in the 20-80 rule. 80% were posting in education mode. 20% were going in for the offer. So think about the 5 steps of successful selling. Hi, Audrey. The 5 steps we've all taken and read the books, and everybody's written their book to kind of approach, identify the need, satisfy the need, trial, close the sale. And everybody's written 1,000 books about these 5 steps in their own little funky way. The approach is the post. The approach in a brick and mortar business is you put up a beautiful window display, right? Hoping somebody walks by your business to stop in so you can ask them, why did you come in today, to identify their need. So that's it. It's the approach is 20%. The identify the need is 20%. The overcoming objection is 20%. Education on this process. You're getting the customer closer and closer and closer to buying. Next one, going in for the trial close. Oh, do you like this color? Let me direct message you a little, my order form, or let me direct message you a little bit more information about that. Then your offer goes in the direct message. Or if you're putting an offer out underneath a post, you have to have educated me to want to part with my money. So this is where it's soft. So so does anybody know who could use my 10-step system of bumping up their social media? That's an offer, not something hard like a flyer you put out. It's, wow, I'd love to be connected with someone to show them what $150 worth of my services could do. So it's soft, but you've got to educate ahead of time to add value. The other thing to what you said about personal to business, so 80-20, 20-80, 20% on your business page, you need to be sharing personal stuff. And by personal stuff, this is what I mean. So how many of us have watched on Facebook when somebody went, oh, we had pork chops and applesauce and scalloped potatoes for dinner? It's like, who the flying frig cares? I'm happy you're eating. Good that you're eating. But had you posted like this on your business page, you've got a picture and you've got the family, because right now we're only in our own little bubbles, and you've got the beautiful meal that you've made for your family, and you take that shot and go, oh, that's a when moment. Oh man, I just love when we're able to get together as a family and finally sit down and eat a meal. So it's like, I want to share this with the world. I want the world to see this. That's why we use social media, to be seen. And you put into that post, I just love when we're able to gather around the table and we're eating a quality meal. At Meridian Meats, love the quality of your products. At Cloverdale Market, Cloverdale Farmers Market, you tag them in, your produce just is amazing, and I'm able to create a beautiful, nutritious meal for my family. This time is precious for me. Okay, you're really not telling anybody when you change your underwear and all the rest of that kind of personal stuff, but you're bringing them into a when moment that you want to share with them. So as the perceiver, this is because human beings, and this is the science of this, plus the woo-woo, is people, the perceiver will look at that post and go, oh, Tamara's about family. Oh, Tamara's about eating quality food. Tamara's about shopping local. Tamara is about time, taking time. That's the kind of person that I want to do business with. So then if Tamara ever said, hey, Jeanette, I can't have that meeting with you right now, I've got a family commitment, I've seen she's posted about that's important to her. It's like, you betcha, Tamara. I love when you share with what your family does. So yeah, of course, go do that family thing, whatever I got going on, we can do this tomorrow. So it's training your viewer to the perception of how you want them to behave when you're doing business with them. So then flipping that around too, it's the 80-20 rule on your personal page. 80% about what's going on in your life, life, going for a walk, spending time with family, all the rest. 20% you bring in what you do in your business. And by 20%, I mean, I'm at my office right now. I could have paper all over the place. I take that photograph and I go, oh, I'm knee deep in paperwork in my own home office, but boy, I love it. So it's showing that you're a business person, that you've got all the little paperwork. That's how you can bring your business into your personal life. Because guys, when you walk into a place of business, Bob's Big Boy Plumbing, he doesn't go, I'm a family man and I'm a trailblazer and stuff. And he leaves that, he opens the door and go, okay, I'm a plumber. Don't ask me about my kids. Don't ask me about what I'm doing on the weekend. No, that's not what we do in reality. So behave the same way on social media and you'll get more solid relationships. Scott, your question.
My question about LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for years and years and spent a lot of time getting up over 1,000 contacts.
Yep.
But then I'm struggling with, okay, do I pay for a premium membership or not? So would you pay? No, that's kind of what I thought.
No, I was with a company and I did premium for right now and I'm going to cancel it, kind of the free. And have I done anything with it? No, because I'm not a premium user in anything except for good quality food and good quality wine. The problem with premium that I've found, because I've taken LinkedIn training, like lots of different LinkedIn courses, is whatever you do in LinkedIn premium, if you're not consistently bringing that relationship that happened in there outside of there, you quit paying for that service and you lose it all. It's proprietary within the premium. So no, to me, organic. Do we premiumly treat one person differently than another person? No. So the more that you organically use it, and that's something else, I would love to do a LinkedIn training with you guys, kind of a high level LinkedIn training next time. Because there's information on LinkedIn that is left behind by who's viewing, what businesses are viewing, what position they are, and how to really utilize the thumbs up, the clapping, the support, the heart, the light bulb moment, and the insightful. If I can just give you a little hint, a little G with P, as I call it, a little gift with purchase. I used to be in the retail business, and here's a little, remember the little bottle that comes with the big bottle when you go to the liquor store? That's a G with P. Is that when somebody gives you a thumbs up, clapping, the little cup with the little heart or the insightful or the curious, remember a human being pushed that emoji. We're fearful about leaving our words behind. Like, look at all the words. Am I fearful of all the words that are in the chat right now? Human beings are fearful of leaving their words behind because they're going to be live on in infamy. I'm going to look like I'm a freaking idiot, okay? Because my words are there. But what I will do is I'll exchange my emotion with you. I'll give you a thumbs up. That's safe. I'll give you a heart. That's safe. I'm still letting you know I had a dopamine response to kick my adrenals, to pick up my hand and hit that screen, to hit that emoji. That if you come back, and there's the two that are the most lead generating emojis on LinkedIn ever, and that's the light bulb and the little curious guy. That's like someone walking up to you and after you've posted and they're looking and you're like, what? Or someone goes, they're interested. They want to know more information. So underneath, because you can click on that little emojis, and see who gave you the heart, who gave you the thumbs up, and you see the person's name and you call them out in the comments at Bob Smith. I see you gave me the curious emoji. What did you find curious about it? You get to check for understanding. And you might go, that's a curious thought process about blah. And you're like, shit. Pardon me, I keep swearing. That's not what I wanted that post to say. That's not my intent for me posting about that. So we got clarity. And you're like, oh, first of all, thank you so much for giving me that, that curious. And that's what you perceive. This is what I wanted my post to say, or my education piece to be. Or insightful, meaning the person, that's almost like someone going, here's my credit card. I find that insightful. That was valuable. Coming back and saying, oh, thank you so much for giving me the light bulb moment. What was the light bulb moment that you had? And they go, I love the fact that blah. And you're like, great, I'm going to direct message you because you know what? I want this light to keep going on. So it's using the internal emojis so that it really was a human being. And I got to tell you, the biggest thing is when that person's name gets tagged. What is the sweetest thing in the whole language until us when we get married and we have to take somebody else's name, but anyways, is when somebody says our name. and that I go at Dean, bring him into the conversation because he gave me a thumbs up, Dean gets alerted. He's like, oh shit, somebody knows. Somebody recognized that I spent my time reading your stuff. And I matter to Jeanette at Dean. Thank you so much for giving me the insightful on that. Dean gets and goes, oh, the dopamine that kicks into Dean, like, oh my gosh, I matter to Jeanette. And he's going to come back and say, thank you so much for recognizing the fact that I, gave you that emoji. Does that not do something for your credibility? Oh, freaking yes. This is what we're leaving behind, people, not recognizing there's a human being in front of these screens. You want to know where your customers are? They're in the emojis. But do the successful steps. Immediately, you can't say, thank you for giving me a heart on my beautiful cake that I make. How many do you want? It's like, what did you like about the cake? Where would you see using that cake in your next event? Who do you know that needs to have a cake to celebrate like the one I just made? Then you're able to build the relationship ahead of time. Now, so you wonder where your customers are. They're in the emojis.
So I get one more question about LinkedIn, and I can already answer it. So when somebody looks at your profile,
Yep.
Obviously you should connect with them, or at least reach out.
Not necessarily. Great question. Because you, number one, do a little rah-rah. Somebody's looking at you, which is awesome. Going, yay! Whatever I got going on there, somebody, looked at me. Woohoo! But go onto their profile and apply that lifting up thought process. If I connected with this person, if I lifted up my profile into their profile, is there an intentful way to me wanting to know more business with them or build something here? Could I add them to my network and I've now got a little solution pocket that I can solve somebody's problem? So will we get our goals in life? If the answer is no, then go, woohoo, somebody looked at me and don't connect. If it follows, you get a yes, 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 then again, my favorite thing is going, I love this. Oh, hi, Bob Smith. I saw you were looking at my profile. Thank you so much for spending your time. Because guys, my profile is like every single thing that can be filled out is filled out. So that person just spent at least 5 minutes digging into me about what I'm all about. Thank you so much for viewing my profile. What did you find fascinating? Love to connect with you. Acknowledge them in gratitude for time. This is the other thing about when I talk about time is if you do a post on anywhere and you got your picture, you got your information below, and sometimes you have your hashtags, I encourage you all to have somebody time you or you time and you look at the picture for a bit. Look at the picture as you were looking, you're going through somebody's brag book a million years ago, 5-6 seconds, you're looking at the picture. Read out loud the content. Read out loud the hashtags, stop the clock. And that may be 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe it's a minute. And recognize that when that person gave you that heart, they minimally exchanged 30 seconds of their life looking at your stuff. And they were spurred to give you a heart. Think about that for a second. It's like they came to your window, stopped at your window display, stood outside your store for 30 seconds, looking at your beautiful window display. You're in your store at your desk, watching this going on for 30 seconds with that puppy in the window. That person's got their hands to the window, and you don't come to the door and invite them in when they've exchanged 15, because they say the stuff is like 3 to 5 seconds now on Instagram. You got to be quick and stuff. But on LinkedIn, the average person spends 5 to 7 minutes per article because they want to be educated on LinkedIn. And they give you a heart and you look at their profile and you're like, holy crap, that's my avatar. That's what that person is doing, and that's my customer, and you don't come back. and say, thank you at Bob Smith for liking my stuff about, or my post about blah. Wow, I so appreciate you. Do you not think that Bob is going to go, holy crap, I matter? So yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that, Jeanette. Wow, I'm still wow again. I have a question, and we're getting close to time and being cognizant everyone's working. So we're a little bit before 1, so we'll end on time. Everything you've said, and I've had this question asked to me, and just everything you've outlined, it's amazing, it's important, it needs to be done in this, in today's business climate. Pretty much everyone here, except for you, because this is what you do, has like a job. So how much time should you be dedicating in your week or your day? Like this could be a full-time job for, Dean or Alain. Like we have jobs. Like
Tamara, my favorite question of all time. My favorite question of all time is how much time?
Right?
Okay. There's 2 different rationales. There's a time block of time and time invested. So if you're a business owner and you need to put an extra, say, $5,000 into the bank, okay, you need an extra $5,000 in sales. And you know that you couldn't do that. So you hire a part-time salesperson, correct? And you know it could cost $500 a month to net you, or $1,000 on that to pay that salesperson to get you that $10,000. Okay, right? So you take that $1,000 and you know you've got to pay a good quality person that has all the skills that'll answer your questions, all your life experience, basically, Tamara. And you're worth about $25, $30 an hour, because that's the kind of person, the salesperson you'd want on the floor. So take that $30, divide it into that $1,000, that gives you your amount of hours. Because you got to put a post up and you got to work the post. You put the post up in the window, so when that person comes into the store, you ask them, hi, what brought you in today? What size do you need? Oh, that pink sweater? Oh, that's whatever. It's the time that you want to work that post is the time that you need to be. So that's what I say about time, because that's what I teach. And I would love for each of you to reach out. Number 1, I'm offering everybody a free 30-minute W5 one-on-one session. You got my email and stuff like that, save the chat, hook me up. It's a slide deck. I can do anywhere in the world. So once you have it done, if you want to send it to your friend in Africa, I'll stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, because it's so important that everybody knows their W5 story before they start really building relationship on social media. So when it comes from time block, good use of that, if you've identified you need to spend 5 hours a week to net you that $100,000 or that extra $10,000 in sales, time block between 7 and 9 in the morning is the best time to post. And that's because people are getting ready for work, they're commuting, that's when they're using social media like a newspaper to catch up. Coming back at 3 to 7 in the afternoon is a good time to follow up and to see if anybody gave you a heart, thumbs up, cry face, commented. You're more likely, if you're going to comment and say that at thank you, Bob Smith, for liking my post about blah, Bob has probably got his phone in his hand. So Bob will be alerted that, oh my gosh, Valerie said something nice about me. And you're more likely, because people are on their coffee break, or they're winding down for the day, or they're having happy hour, or they're getting ready for supper. So you're more likely to catch somebody with their device in their hand. Time frame. This is general, depending on your time zone, people. As well as for women time block, if you want to have something that applies to women, it's best to post on Wednesdays between 3 and 7, something interesting, repost something new, because us women are being paid on the Thursday most time, or the Friday, and we tend to plan 3 days out. What am I going to do on the weekend? What's sales coming up? Whatever, what education? And if you have a man type thing, to post it on Friday morning, because I get paid that day. What am I going to do tomorrow? And that's just to kind of give time blocking that men tend to look, oh, it's Friday. I'm not, my work life is done. What's going on out there in the social media world, with the KMS, what tools are there going on? They tend to use it because I got paid that day and I'm going ahead to, do my shopping the next day. But women tend to plan out a lot more. So as in time block, that's the good use of time. Hopefully that answered your question.
I think it's a good, does anyone else have any questions before we wrap up? I know we could just keep this conversation going, but I know we all have to get back to work.
Yes.
Any last questions? No?
I have one last question. Would you guys all mind if I did a screenshot? I would love to do a screenshot and put this over on LinkedIn. And if I am a friend, I will connect with you. And that way, see, I have your beautiful faces. So I really know it's the really, the right Valerie to connect with. And I will tag you into that post, thanking you for showing up today across all my social. I'll be applying a lifting up to you guys today. So do you guys mind if I take a screenshot? If you do, please take your camera off out of respect. Okay, everybody's good? Okay, I'm gonna put this down just a smidge because I got my halo. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? It's good if we go like this because you tend to do everybody a little smile because you tend to smile better. Perfect. So within the next 24 hours, guys, I'll be applying a lifting up of myself in your eyes on your social media platforms.
Thanks, Jeanette.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Thanks, Jeanette.
I think we're going to take her up on her offer for her advanced LinkedIn training. I know I'm in.
W5 Story, that sounds awesome. Thank you
That
very
one
much.
you will have to pay for, just to let you know.
Mhm.
We'll
Thank
come
you.
up with a good price for that one.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye,
Excellent.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
thank
Bye-bye.
you.